Hi everyone, I'm Tai-Yin Huang. I'm a program director for the agronomy and also data system programs. And today I would like to give an update on the Geospace Data System Initiative. Before I move on, I'd like to acknowledge the contribution from my colleague, Charlie Huang, who's a program director for atmospheric physics, and we're from the Geospace section, Division of Atmospheric and Geospace Sciences. So before we start, I'd like to give you some, background. So the Geospace Section Data System Program is in development. So current NSF public access policy indicate that data that is produced from NSF funded projects must be made freely available to the public, along with peer review papers and conference papers that we all know. So in response to the recommendations in the geospace section portfolio review, investment in critical capabilities for geospace science 2016 to 2025, the geospace section created a position to assess and help support the community's data systems needs. So the overarching goal is to develop a funding mechanism, either a solicitation or the standing program to support the geospace section research community for their research products to be compliant with open science and the FAIR principles. So our immediate goals are that we want to identify and create opportunities to address our community's data systems needs. And we want to identify and address challenges faced by the community in implementing open science practices. We also want to explore opportunities to support open science and data system infrastructure. And we also like to leverage resources to maximize science returns. So before we do anything, I want to show you the word cloud that was created by using the content from the sessions on data systems in the 2021 CETA workshop. And so based on the discussion during the session, several things, key points that can be summarized, which I presented here. So what does the community want? The community wants to have easy access to data. We all want to have a user-friendly interface. And also, it'd be nice to have a documentation of data for record keeping and also for end users. And a formal data policy for data citation and attribution to give credits to data providers. That's important. And also file and data standardization. It would be nice to use a standardized or universal format so that data can be readable by one README file. And also, it'd be nice to have a data access and usage reports to assess the data needs. And also the last question is, and also one thing that's also being highly discussed was long-term data repositories, either a single site or multiple site. So before we move on to take a look, to talk about the initiative, I would like to also just to give the community a sense of what we are now, in terms of the funding agency. So the especially at NSF. So the for the geospace section, we have several data system. We supported data system infrastructure. For example, the modular data database is managed by Millstone Hill, and SuperMag is managed by APL. We also have the Community Coordinated Modeling Center, which we co-fund with NASA. And also, NSF also support summer schools and workshops to provide students with hands-on experience of software tools. Now, on the GS side, level, we also have several, things that support the data system infrastructure. For example, NCAR Geoscience Data Exchange, NCAR Climate Data Gateway, and also NCAR CISO and also High Altitude Observatory. They also provide services to the community. Now on the NSY level, there are funding opportunities for their system. For example, we have the research coordinating networks that supports development of community standards for data and metadata. And also there's a dear colleague letter, effective practices for making research data discoverable and citable, and geoinformatics, and another dear colleague letter, pilot projects for cyber infrastructure centers of excellence. Now, I want to highlight this RCN, solicitation, because this is currently the mechanism for you guys. If you have any ideas that you want to propose something on data system, this is the solicitation that you can use. You can submit it to this call, and I'll be the contact person for the geospace section. So if if your background is in agronomy, magnetospheric physics, solar terrestrial physics, or space weather, or even geospace facilities, this would be the one to use currently. All right. So here's another important development that I want the community to know. So this is this slide, basically is of course taken from this article. White House moves to make federal funded research free upon publication. That was published in the FYI bulletin it was written by Mitch Ambrose. So I just want to read out some of the key points here. So a memo that was issued by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy that directs federal agencies to ensure peer-reviewed articles stemming from research they fund are freely available upon publication. And this guideline is to be implemented no later than the start of 2026, and also applies to data that are necessary to validate scientific findings reported in the publications. And the interim OSTP directors argued that eliminating embargoes will help make access to research more equitable and accelerate new discoveries. So under the new policy, publications must be made available in agency-designated repositories, and the requirement will apply if any co-author receive federal support. Now, lastly, OSTP expects all agencies to have updated public access policies fully implemented by December 2025 to place this research in agency-maintained online free public repositories. So do expect change to come because we're given the timeline to respond to this this memo. So a lot of people, a lot of PIs are not aware of some of the requirements in the data management plan. For anyone who had experience submitting proposal to NSF, that data management plan is is a file that you have to provide. The current components that require in the data management plans are products of research, the standards to be used for data in metadata format and content, policies for access and sharing, and also policy and provisions for reuse, redistribution, and plans for archiving data. Now, the last one maybe will be subject to change, especially when we have a response to the requirements from the memo. Okay. Oh, sorry. And also a lot of PIs are not aware that, AGS actually has a data management plan template that they can use. And I'm showing you the template here. So what you can do is go to, nsf.gov, and then in the search box, type in AGS and then data management plan. Then this file should be visible to you. You're welcome to use that, when you submit proposals. Okay. Now, our initial funding on data management plan. So this past summer, we have an NSF summit intern, Victoria Gomez, who has worked on a project to review data management plans of awards that were made in 2021 in the geospace programs. So our goal is to identify gaps and what kinds of resources would be needed to support open science. So our initial findings were that some words were missing or failed to describe metadata associated with the projects in their data management plans. And some words producing simulation results, but did not mention sharing codes or software. And many words also failed to mention the amount of data they will be producing annually. And some words use the size of data sets produced as a justification for making only partial data available. Now, of course, that would not be a valid, justification, just so you know. Okay. Now, so come to our last slide. So, again, like I said, our data system program is in development, and we are committed to open science. So our next steps are to support the geoscience data system infrastructure for open science. The session will consider establishing an active collaboration with other federal agencies to leverage resources. Now, we just started talk with some people from NASA, so this is encouraging. And we will also consider sponsoring a community workshop or a few smaller workshops on data system infrastructure to get the feedback from the community. And we will also consider developing a data policy in line with the FAIR principles. We will also consider developing a Dear Colleague letter to provide funding opportunities to support their systems. We will also consider requesting PIs to report their data management plan practices in the project reports. And we would also consider updating data management plan templates to be consistent with the OSTP memo dated August 25th, 2022. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feel free to contact me. I won't be at this meeting because I'm actually obligated to go to another meeting. But my colleague Charlene, she will participate at this meeting virtually. So definitely, if you have any question, please reach out to her or reach out to me, with the email. Thank you for your attention.